Okay, hello and welcome to the weather update. Why are we doing another weather update? Well, we have two major things that we have to talk about. Obviously, the record heat that we have coming, but also Hurricane Otis, which came as a complete surprise. And I put up a silent video, because it was the middle of the night. I wasn't even watching this thing. I wasn't even aware of it, all right? It was a Category 5 hurricane. It seemed like it came out of nothing. It slammed into Acapulco, Mexico. Catastrophic damage. And you could see last night, as of 1 a.m., it was at a Category 5, maximum sustained winds of 165 miles an hour, moving north-northwest at 10 miles an hour, with a minimum central pressure of 923 millibars, 7.26 inches. Truly frightening. So I'm going to play this video. We have a couple of satellite loops here that I wanted to just show you here. If we can play this here that I have. There we go. So there's a satellite loop of it making landfall. You can see right there. I'll put it on the center of the screen for you. There it is. You can see very well-defined eye, buzzsaw look. Once it got inland, it got into the mountains, and it weakened very quickly, but it dumped a whole lot of rain. That's one of the satellite images, and then I'll have another one for you here. This is from Tropical Tidbits, the enhanced infrared, and you can see this is a historic storm. Look at that classic buzzsaw look. Slammed right into Acapulco. A very bad situation in Acapulco right now. Actually, all communications has been knocked out in Acapulco from this storm. So if we look at CNN here, you'll see all communications is knocked out. So they have no power, no communications, nightmare scenario in Acapulco. Cracking over the incredibly warm ocean water near the coast, the storm rapidly intensified just before landfall and gave officials and residents little time to prepare. So Otis strengthened from a tropical storm to an extremely dangerous Category 5 hurricane in just 12 hours. No wonder why this wasn't even on my radar. This is incredible. And even the models didn't predict this. So the sudden burst of power took many by surprise as Otis bore down on Acapulco, a popular tourist destination that's also home to roughly 800,000 people. As Otis kept strengthening and neared the coast, forecasters at the National Hurricane Center warned that a nightmare scenario was unfolding. Otis slammed into Mexico's coast near Acapulco at around 12:25 a.m. local time with maximum sustained winds of 165 miles an hour. So the storm's full scope of devastation is not clear, but we know there's going to be casualties, flooding, power disrupted. We do not have any communications, so they didn't have any chance to really prepare for this. They thought a tropical storm was coming. So there has been complete devastation. Otis was not forecast to become a hurricane until the early Tuesday morning. A little more than 24 hours before it would make its unprecedented Category 5 hurricane. And this is the quickest strengthening hurricane, strongest hurricane in the Eastern Pacific to ever hit this area on record. A hurricane watch was issued Monday afternoon for Acapulco and surrounding parts of the coast. The forecast was on the high side of pretty much all the intensity guidance that forecasters get from the computer models. But the storm, but the storm was severely underestimated. Brennan said the satellite data and hurricane models were underplaying its current intensity because they just don't have a handle on climate change. All right? And you can see nobody was prepared for this. That's why I didn't even bring it up. I mean, they thought that disruptive high-level winds were expected to keep a lid on Otis' strength, but it was such a small storm which made it more prone to big changes in intensity. As Tuesday progressed, the storm began to move over incredibly warm water near the coast, and it became clear environmental conditions weren't playing out as expected, and Otis was not going to be held back, which is really incredible. And by the time they had Hurricane Hunter aircraft flying to the storm Tuesday afternoon, the data revealed that the storm is already about 20 to 30 miles stronger than than would have been estimated. Brennan said the NHC typically deploys aircraft reconnaissance in the Eastern Pacific for hurricane threats to land areas. And CNN asked Brennan why the hurricane hunters weren't sent into the storm earlier than Tuesday afternoon. And again, the federal government, NOAA, they just have no idea how bad this climate crisis is because our president has failed. Biden has been an absolute failure on climate. I mean, he really is no better than the previous president on this. I mean, the newly acquired aircraft data confirmed Otis had begun to rapidly intensify and the storm's forecast changed dramatically. It's always the worst case scenario when you storm. It's always because of climate change. Always. So this is a timeline. At 3 a.m., it was a tropical storm. At 9 a.m., it was still a tropical storm. This is yesterday. At noon yesterday, it was a Category 1 hurricane. At 1 to 2 p.m., hurricane hunters fly into the eye of Otis and discover that it is much stronger than the satellites had estimated. At 3 p.m., it was 125. At 6 p.m., it was 145 miles an hour. And then at 9 p.m., 160 miles an hour. And it just kept strengthening until it made landfall. And it is a symptom of the climate crisis. Otis's intensification was among the fastest forecasters ever seen. Its top-end wind speed increased by 115 miles an hour in 24 hours and 90 miles an hour in a 12-hour period. The storm's rapid intensification is a symptom of human-caused climate crisis, and this is one becoming more frequent. More than 90% of the warming around the globe over the past 50 years has taken place in the oceans, and the Otis took full advantage of that warm patch of ocean right there. And that's how it exploded. Absolutely intense. And before Otis, there had not been a Category 5 landfall for the East Pacific. So this is a record. This is a record storm, and it's also strengthened at a record pace. So absolutely incredible to see, and just prayers go out to everybody in this area. There's going to be a lot of devastation. Acapulco is a city of 800,000 people right now in the dark. As we speak, no power, no communications. Everything has been, there are a couple of, perspectives here. Reed Timmer has shared some images of this on Twitter, and on X, I should say, and you can see power is completely out, complete devastation. Look at these, even big buildings have structural damage. Water, flooding, absolutely incredible to see this kind of thing happen. And Acapulco, really, here's another image on Twitter, on X, I should say, of the devastation. It's incredible to see, really, a total devastation, and the power grid has been completely destroyed as well as a result. So, let's pull that, let's get Acapulco back up here. We'll get some more images here for you of the storm here for you. There should be more images of what it was like inside the storm, at least with lightning. So here's a loop with lightning. So it had lightning in the eye. Look at all that lightning going on. That's rapid intensification right there. You can see this is another loop of it here. Really just incredible. This all caught us. Otis caught us all by surprise. It was absolutely incredible to see. Here's a video from the Weather Channel that shows some trees bending. And the pop, yeah, here we go. So this is what it looked like. This is while the power was still on. You can see just what happened here. It's incredible wind. And yeah, incredible. Maybe they'll catch the power going out, but that whole power grid is destroyed. There's nothing that's going to withstand that. Nothing man-made can withstand that kind of wind. Here's another video from Fox Weather. We got an ad.
Look up.
Whoa. I'll link stuff to you. I don't want to really play a whole bunch of videos, but truly a disaster over there. But anyway, get back to our weather. We're dealing with the ridge, and we're going to deal with some very warm weather coming up the next couple of days. You can see that high-pressure ridge there. And this, I'm guessing, this is Tammy right here. Yeah, that's Tammy. I'll have to go to the NHC and take a look at Tammy because, it's so here's Tammy. We have this high pressure. It's going to keep it kind of suppressed, and then we have another front come through, and it's going to get pushed down by another high that's going to be building in next week, thank God. But yeah, that's Tammy. So actually, let's go to the speaking of tropics. Let's just see what Tammy is up to. It's strengthened. It's up to 100 miles an hour already. See, this is becoming stronger than I expected already. So Tammy is interacting with the nearby front. Its location is 28 north, 57.9 west, about 510 miles southeast of Bermuda. Maximum sustained winds are 100 miles an hour, moving northeast at 14 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 969 millibars, 28.62 inches. They say, all right, so it was stronger. Winds have decreased, but it is still, and they're saying it's going to become powerful extratropical cyclone by Thursday. But let's take a look at what Tammy looks like over here. And again, if we look at the thing here, you see it's good. They keep it over pretty much away from us, fortunately, though it could still stir up the surf. That could still happen. Let's go to the satellite imagery here. Well, you see, we've been dealing with some cirrus on mid-level clouds. We'll talk about the skies today in a moment. Let's show you Tammy here. So this is Tammy. Still see convection going on there. Still, it doesn't look like anything to get messed around with at this point. Still, yeah. So anyway, let's take a look at our weather right now, and you'll see temperatures have risen. We are mild tonight. We're in the 60s, 63. Feeling a little bit of that humidity out there. The dew point's up to 57, and you're definitely feeling it today. After a very mild day today, we'll go over our highs in a moment. Yeah, so very mild. You can see how the dew points have risen at Islip. Let's go to our highs, and we'll start off with the highs. We'll start off with the lows first, see what that radiational cooling did. Yeah, West Hampton got down to 43. Everybody else had lows in the low 50s, mid-50s in the city. Though, again, Miller Air Park got down to 37, beating West Hampton again, as well as interior areas of northern New Jersey and the Hudson Valley as well, getting down into the 30s. Looking at the highs, highs generally were in the upper 60s to around upper 60s across Long Island. We had 74 at LaGuardia. Oh, my, wow. 74 at Miller Air Park. Very warm in Jersey. Already mid-70s there. So what a range. Went from 37 in the morning to 74. That's incredible. And let's see. We've got mid-70s. Look at that. Mid-70s in Jersey and the city as well. That's very, very warm. So that's way, way above normal. We already overperformed today, so I have a feeling we're going to be overperforming, and I think we're going to see 80s definitely in the picture here. So let's just go to our almanac for today. Islip, 67, and that's 6 degrees above normal for the high, 5 degrees above normal for the day. We'll look at LaGuardia, 74 for a high. That's a whole 11 degrees above normal, and for the high, and 8 degrees above normal for the day. Newark, whole 77, 14 degrees above normal for the high, and 9 degrees above normal for the day. That's absolutely incredible. And it's only going to get warmer from here with that ridge. So let's go to our HRRR model, which we should have mostly in. Well, most of it. You have it up to Friday. But anyway, you'll see no precipitation. It stays to the north. But we will be dealing with much warmer weather. So we'll look at the wind flows first. See that southwest. It almost becomes westerly. And actually, it's showing westerly winds for the first part of tomorrow, then becoming southwest later on. So sea breezes will be limited, I think, to the South Shore. It's not going to really get in as far, and it's going to be pretty warm. And then for Friday, well, this doesn't go far enough out, so I'll have to go to the GFS. But for Friday, you see there's that westerly flow again. So it's showing more of a westerly flow, west-southwest flow. That means very limited sea breezes, and that's why I think 80s are going to be a good bet Friday and Saturday probably. And then Saturday, we got west winds as well. West winds, so no sea breeze. Here comes the cold front, and that'll be coming through on Sunday, bringing us possibly our next chance of rain before the colder air comes in. You can see by Tuesday, for Halloween, it'll be colder, and it'll feel like it should again, because this warmth is ridiculous, but hey, this is the world we live in now. So here we go into tomorrow here. Tonight, we're only going to drop, I think, into the 50s, mid-50s, and then tomorrow, here we go. Tomorrow, I think all of us get well into the mid-70s, upper 70s, maybe close to 80 degrees, I think, could be a possibility, even in some areas on Long Island, definitely the city in New Jersey. We underestimated today how warm today got. And then the same deal for Friday, going to be mid-70s to around low 80s, I think, in a lot of areas, cooler on the immediate South Shore. Saturday is really going to be warm with that west wind. Everybody's, I think, going to get up to 80 degrees. Unless you're absolutely right at the beach, I think everybody's going to get up to 80 degrees. It's going to be ridiculous, and that's when we're going to break some records, I think. I don't know what the records are for that day, but you can see Sunday gets pushed down by that front. We'll talk more about that on Friday. I'm going to have to do the weather update every day because we're going through some interesting weather here, abnormal weather, so we have to talk about this every day. But it'll be don't count on a long video tomorrow night. But I had to talk about Otis tonight. obviously. So lastly, we'll go to the skies. Um, and I'll just show you what the kind of day we had today as far as the skies go. You almost forgot. This is the altocumulus we had today. It's pretty. Actually, no, it's a cirrocumulus. My mistake. Cirrocumulus clouds. Really pretty clouds in the sky. Even though we did have a lot of clouds, they were pretty. A few contrails here and there, but mostly pretty clouds. You can see there's a contrail. But other than that, pretty clouds. And, yeah, still got some nice colors out there, so get out there and enjoy them. It'll be good weather, especially for those who don't like it cold. So let's look at our skies as we go into tomorrow. So you'll see tomorrow not showing too many clouds. In the afternoon, there may be more of those high clouds around again, maybe some mid-level clouds. As we go into Friday, we'll start off with a lot of clouds, and I think toward the afternoon we get rid of a lot of them. And then Saturday, actually, we're not going to have too many clouds around, I think. So, it looks good. And as far as our next chance of rain goes, we'll just go ahead and look at the GFS here. Show you when our next chance of rain would be sometime Sunday. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that much rain. Again, you see there's no dark greens on here, so go to total accumulated precip, and you see it's not really showing. It's showing maybe a little more over Long Island, maybe close to maybe a half an inch, perhaps. This is a ways away, and a lot can change. One thing we can do is look at that 700 to 300 relative humidity, which kind of tells us you don't really see any dark greens over us. All right, there is some dark green over on Sunday, so Sunday we'll have to watch possibly for the chance of rain. But Saturday you won't. Sunday and Monday we have to watch the chance of rain, and then it's out of here by Tuesday. But it could very well be scattered. I see a west wind on Monday, and so this front, what's going to happen is the front's going to get a little hung up. Of course, that always has to happen. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. That would be our next chance for some wet weather, at least. So, but at least you have at least till Saturday. We won't have to deal with any rainy misery, which is very good. So that is going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night, and again, tomorrow I'll just do a brief local weather update as we talk about this ridiculous warmth. We may break some records, so obviously I have to be here for that. But it will be very short. Not like tonight, but today we had to talk about Hurricane Otis because this was just incredible. Incredible to see. That's why I wasn't even ready to talk about it because I'm like, oh, this is just a little tropical storm. And look what it turned into. This is scary stuff. I mean, we have major hurricanes that now develop almost out of nothing because of climate change, because we have warm water. It's not just warm water at the surface of the sea. It's actually a little bit below, too. The whole column of the ocean is getting warmer, and that's causing these storms to get extremely intense extremely quickly. So this is what we deal with as we deal with climate change, as both political parties that run this country don't seem to give a damn about how urgent it is. Everybody just seems to be forgetting that this is really going to be the biggest issue facing humanity, and it has every bit of. I'll just leave it at this. It has every possibility of making this human species extinct. So yeah, you need to take that to heart, and people need to take this a lot more seriously, and wake the hell up. Anyway, have a good night.